But there are many photographers online now. Like there's a new Facebook page every day. Someone tells you, like my page, so and so photography. And that it's a welcome trend. I think it just shows that the industry is growing. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't go past the second month because, you think it's all glam. Like you see these images, but you don't know how much work goes into it. But in 2 months, you start realizing this is actually hard work. And so a lot of people give up at that point. My name is Joe Makeni. I'm a commercial photographer and I enjoy shooting environmental portraits. I feel at this time it's very easy to become a celebrity, so to speak, on social media. And you just need a couple of good images, get the right people to retweet it, and you have a following already. I think I was a beneficiary of that in a way. And, within a year, people would recognize Joe Makeni. But then I came to appreciate what experience does to the art. Like a lot of people I've noticed, you'll start with that big bang on social media, then it kind of goes silent. You just go, no one really knows what you're up to, and until they maybe see a feature like this, and they see new images that you haven't put on Instagram. But maybe there are images you're planning to maybe exhibit at an exhibition and you don't want them to be out there at the moment. You get, but initially when you're starting, everything goes. So you churn out a lot of work, and it's a good way to get your name out there. But there's something also, the way the experience mellows the art, and your art just becomes, I'd say, finer and finer, and you don't feel the need to kind of bombard everyone with your work. And so now you'll be getting a very select list of clients, guys who are coming to you for a specific reason. Because you realize, like, when you're big on social media, guys will be calling you, do you do baby photos? Do you do family photos? Because you become a household name. But then at that stage now, you become, you're still pushing your name, but it's to a very specific group of people. Like now I'm pushing to ad agencies and, art curators and things like that, and not necessarily for everyone else. I like working on interesting briefs, a brief that has a little room to experiment, or, that has room for feedback from the photographer, that you can say, let's try this. Mostly when you're shooting commercials in Kenya, you get very similar briefs. And so it's always, this kind of lighting, this kind of setting, and so nothing much changes. So it gets a little boring. And then now you end up, you're not really shooting because you're passionate about shooting that kind of stuff, but it's just shooting, so you can make money and use that cash now to do your personal project, to travel and go and now do the interesting stuff. That's how it is now. But I'd like to see the two coming together, in that I get clients who want to shoot creatively and to give me freedom on my part. So it becomes more of I'm being paid to do my own personal project. We go with a certain clientele, and we don't get that kind of client very often. So you'd go for a month or 6 weeks and you haven't shot. And so you start getting a bit worried about, who's gonna pay rent, who's gonna do all this stuff. But the beauty of it is that eventually when that one job comes through, it can push you for long. But then also those 1 month gaps, you get to do a lot of personal projects. We shot this image in Amboseli. The other day we got up in the morning and it was cloudy, but when you looked at the horizon, there was this golden line. Like this section didn't have clouds at all. So we decided, okay, let's go look for elephants and we will shoot. And so we drove quickly, just speeding along I think we even broke the speed limit, but that's not important. So we finally saw this mother elephant and the calf, and they were on the other side of the road that had the mountain and the clouds. And so we needed to wait for them to cross to the other side so we could shoot now with that. We drove past and went until we got a background that was interesting enough. I like these two trees and the way they were, just so different. This is just more of a, this one is dry, this one is not. And then the way the whole place looked with the grass. And we decided, okay, we'll shoot from here. So we went there and waited. And we were just hoping that they make it in time before the sun goes up into the clouds. And so we waited. We actually even got off the car and just set up our tripods and waited patiently. And then it finally happened. They crossed the road and they came, and it was, I don't know, it was just God. Like, it is just as we had seen it in our heads, you know. And the mother just walked and left the calf behind, just like we wanted it. And so we were able to shoot the calf at that perfect moment. And one of my favorite shots from that trip. I think my biggest piece of advice would be, take your time, you know, research, just play around with your camera, just shoot every day. You're bound to get better. Then when you're confident, you can start charging for it. But it's not a matter of buying a camera and you want to get your investment back by charging people immediately, because it's more of a con. I mean, if you don't know how to use the camera, then why are you charging to use it? Just be patient with your art, let it grow, let it mature. Then there'll be a time for you. There'll be a time to charge. But if you've been shooting for a while, then yeah, start charging. But it'll also take a while for your name to get out there. And so you just need to be patient through that process. And, you know, don't give up after 2 months because you've shot one project and you think it's not economically viable. It happens even to some of us. I mean, we've been shooting for years, but still there are those dry spells that come about. Just be consistent with your work, because eventually clients will come for you because they know you will give a specific standard. They know your style, they know your quality, they know your professionalism. And so when they're coming back, they will expect that. And you don't want someone to refer you to someone else and they have a totally different, you know, experience. And so guys are not sure whether to recommend you again, you know. And so it counts for a lot to be consistent with your products, with the way you treat your clients, the way you handle your business.